Hey guys, it's Christian Singh here back from CNH London for another review. This one is about gun parts and also some safety stuff as well too when you're shooting out there, and also like maintenance as well too. So I'm going to be covering like three things right now. Basically, the first one is safety. Always wear safety glasses when you're up at the range. Basically, it should be almost like a no-brainer out there, because you never know when something's going to fly up in your face. And I personally recommend like these yellow amber color, amber-ish glasses out here. They're made by Remington. They're only about 10, 11 bucks on eBay and stuff like that. It's basically cheap insurance for your eyes. So basically, most people know out there you get an AK, and the way they have it set up on there is you have a hole in the back for your recoil spring, and sometimes you get a little bit of oil come flying out of there. I know personally myself, I shoot left-hand all the time, and sometimes when I first got my AK, I noticed that there was a little bit of oil spray come out of the back, and like it would hit me in the eye sometimes. So by trying to avoid that, you get some glasses so your eyes don't get like really crowded up with some of the oil blowback from the recoil spring or for that. And it's basically a cheap insurance policy to keep your eyes clean and free of any debris and any issues that might result from a gun that might malfunction or something like that out there for that. So it's basically cheap insurance for your eyes, because you don't want to go blind over some kind of an incident where your gun malfunctions and something happens to your face. So always get a pair of good safety glasses, and always get a pair of good sound insulating headphones like these ones right here. Basically, these are Remington. These are my Beta Remington ones. I basically use these anytime I shoot my Mosin-Nagant, SKS, AK, whatever you got out there for that. And it basically knocks the sound almost down to, I'd say, about from like a 10 down to about a 1 or 2. And they're very good. And they're only about 25, 30 bucks up at your, I'm trying to think where I got these things at. Up at Dunham's probably about 5 years ago. And they're very good for testing your gun out. You go up to the range, or you go up to like if your range has what I call a pillbox. It's basically a concrete rectangular building that has the lead sleds or benches actually inside right there. And anytime you shoot a gun inside one of those things, the sound basically bounces all around the whole place, and basically it amplifies the sound coming out of your gun. Where therefore that it's always good to have these things on there as well too. And last thing is here for the gun maintenance, lubrication, stuff like that. I personally use for like most of my AKs, SKSs, Mosin-Nagants, and just about every other variant of gun I have. I use personally Mobil 1 full synthetic oil. It's 5W30, so it basically has a very low flow rate, so it can flow down like -55 or something like that on the ball. It says on here, and basically all you gotta do is just put a light coating of this on all the moving parts down inside your gun, except for the bolt face for obvious reasons and stuff like that. It basically has full synthetics in it, so you don't have to go out and buy some kind of specialty gun oil out there for it. This stuff's cheap. You can go up to Walmart and buy for about $9 a quart, and 1 quart might last you for 10 or 15 years out there for that. So it's basically good good oil to keep your gun lubed at all times, so it'll cycle okay and stuff like that. I recommend do not put the WD-40 on any of your gun parts, because WD-40 has a tendency to attract carbon and crap like that. So do not put WD-40 in any of your gun parts when you take up the range, shoot and stuff. Just put a light coating of oil on there, or you can also use synthetic ATF. Let me get a ball of that right now. You can use this stuff as well too. Even though this stuff has a bad odor to it, that's why I personally really don't like to use it unless I absolutely have to. It's Mobil 1 synthetic ATF. It's a red color, and it has basically the same flow characteristics as your typical 5W20, 5W30 out there, forcing it down like -50 degrees Fahrenheit as well too, except it has a bad smell to it. I personally don't like the smell, and I basically use my truck's transmission. That's about the only thing I use it in, and the what do you call it, the power steering as a unit as well too, my truck. Basically, ATF, like especially a synthetic ATF, it's basically what they call a solvent-based lubricant, which basically means it lubricates while it cleans, or the reverse opposite. It cleans while it lubricates, while it cleans, and that's why most of the time you see transmissions when you take them apart, they're like almost like spotless inside it, because ATF transmissions fluid, especially the synthetic line out there, stuff like that, tends to clean as well as protect and lube at the same time. So it's a good gun cleaning agent, and you can also use it if you can't find any oil around or anything else like that for that. So that's basically a review of those two specific items right there. Next thing is I got is like your trigger assemblies. Trigger assemblies for your AK variants out and stuff like that. Your Veprs, your Vepr 12s, your regular Vepr rifles, your Sega rifles out there well too. I recommend upgrading if your gun does not have one in there, or if you have like a WAS or 10 made a few years back. Some of them do not have upgrade triggers in them, and they tend to have like it's called trigger slap, I believe. The first AK I ever had was, I think, back in 02 or 03. I can't remember what it was, but it was a WAS or 10 from Century Arms International or whatever, and it had your basically cheap and dirty trigger down there. And over time, the trigger developed a slap. Anytime you cycled the gun, it would have a nasty slap that would actually go through your trigger down here, and basically it would actually hurt your finger. And that's why they use gloves sometimes when I was shooting my gun up the range. And by getting a Tapco G2 trigger right here, as I have right here, it basically virtually eliminates the slap, and also the gun cycles quite a bit better out there for it too, because it's made to a better standard as opposed to the typical Romanian WAS or trigger assemblies in your gun originally that was imported whenever they converted in the United States and stuff like that. So basically, it's a highly recommended upgrade to get a G2 Tapco trigger for your gun. Also has a nice spring in the back here too for your trigger mechanism as well too, guys. And it's a high quality unit. These ones maybe retail for about maybe $29, $39. I can't remember exactly what it was. I got a couple of these in my Veprs anyway, so they definitely improve the functionality and the performance of your trigger. So I give them 2 thumbs up for that specific reason, because you don't want a lot of trigger creep, and you want a nice clean break on your trigger out there when you shoot your gun out there for that. So that's a review of your G2 Tapco triggers right there as well too. They're made in the United States. That's always a good thing too as well. And the last thing is for the Vepr shotgun guys here. I recommend upgrading your puck in front of your gas tube to a stainless steel one. I got these in my two Vepr 12s here. They're a stainless steel gas puck. They have a revised tit on the front of here. Basically, the original one just has a small raised disc right here on the front right here. These new ones from Legion USA sell them for about, I think about $20 on the website. It's a stainless steel heat treated portion right here, and I tested them in my gun, and it's cycled function perfectly fine. It was basically the only rounds I shoot through my guns was basically slugs or like double buckshot, and I never really shot any of the low crap or the low velocity like the pheasant or the small turkey rounds or stuff like that out there for. I just basically cycle the high power rounds all the time, and I never had a single hiccup with the gun ever out there for that. Because of the enlarged tit area in the front on here, basically if you look down inside in the back portion right back here, and you compare the original OEM pocket to the aftermarket one, which is this right here, the actual portion here where your piston goes in, it's a little bit deeper, so it compensates for that as well too, so it fits in there perfectly, as opposed to having a slightly bigger inside the diameter because of that, because they changed the design slightly. And I actually think this design is slightly better than the original design, because the original design, all it has is a small raised cylinder in the front here, where this one has a tapered tit on here. So basically, whenever your gun cycles out there, it would actually push more gas uniformly onto the front portion on there, so it would actually probably seal better properly and improve the cycling of the gun out there as well too. That's my opinion. I don't know any like technical specs to back it up, but it does seem to work as good, if not better, than a typical one out there for that. And the good thing about stainless steel is they tend to be able to clean up a lot easier than your typical regular steel one out there for that, so it's always a good upgrade. So anytime you're up there shooting your gun, your Vepr 12, whatever you got out there, I recommend changing out your puck right here, and also cleaning out your gas tube area. I'd probably say every 50 to 100 rounds out of before that, because you get about 100 rounds going through that thing. That thing's gonna get real nasty up inside. You get all kind of carbon buildup. And I was based at the cabin here last weekend. I shot about 50 rounds of the Remington double buck through it, and for some weird reason, it was a lot dirtier than the Wolf, my Wolf slugs I was shooting out there for that. And I basically checked the puck after shooting 50 rounds with the Wolf stuff and 50 rounds with the double buck, and I noticed immediately that the actual puck was a lot dirtier with the Remington double buck ammunition as opposed to the typical Wolf slugs I was shooting through it for that. And as I said before, stainless steel cleans up a lot easier and quicker than your typical steel puck up inside it as well too. So that's another good advantage right there. It cleans up nice and quick, and you don't have to worry about like corrosion and stuff like that as well too on here, since it's already stainless. It ain't really going to rust or anything else on there for that. Plus your what the hell is it called? Your gas tube up there, I should say. Sorry about that. I'm trying to have a brain fog. Your gas tube area should be clean as well too, because they chrome line the gas tube area as well too. But it's always going to get clogged up with carbon up there anyway. So anytime you get done shooting your gun, like 50, 100 rounds out, just get a 12 gauge bore cleaning thing. I think I forgot the one sitting right here. Here we go. Yeah, let's get a typical 12 gauge clean brush right here like this, and just put it. I'd say if you have like a 6-inch or a 12-inch clean rod, one of those like 3 pieces of clean rod, just put it in and just give it about 10 or 15 spins up in there. Then if you have a compressed air, like a compressed air unit, you can blow it out with some compressed air in there. Then you can also put some brake cleaner up inside it as well too. Now basically leave it spick and span clean, so you won't have any problems next time you go shoot it out there for it, because it's never good to put your gun away dirty after you get done shooting. So that's my review of the gas puck here, the upgraded gas puck. This can be bought at Legion USA. They're about 20 bucks, and I recommend getting them because of 2 things. They tend to not get dirty as much, and they're easier to clean. And I think they actually have a better design because of the more tapered edge on the front end, as opposed to just simply having the flat, circular, almost like drum piece on it. So it might actually cycle your gun better out there for that. I really can't prove it, but it seems to work slightly better with my Vepr 12s over here. And that's my review of that stuff. So if anybody has any questions, comments, whatnot about something I talked about here, whether it be the safety or the triggers or the lubrication or the Vepr 12 puck, just drop me a message here and I'll try to answer any questions you guys have. Thanks, guys.